guys. I'm Jessica Mulder.
And I am Nick Kaminsky.
And this is The Hard Way Pod. The podcast about learning from your mistakes. Right, Nick?
We sure do. We learn from our mistakes, and every week we have another lovely person on to talk about it.
Beautiful. So let's get into that. Today, our guest is lovely actor and comedian Hank Chen.
Hank!
Hi.
He's waving, but that doesn't help so much.
You may have seen him on several TV shows.
So many TV shows.
Life Size 2 with Tyra Banks.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah.
I've heard you do material about Life Size 2 with Tyra Banks, and it was fucking great.
Yeah.
Please,
it's about
Hank,
to get. I'm good. I was just gonna say I'm plugging it. I was like, it's a Christmas movie. It's gonna start running. They're gonna start running the crap out of it.
Yeah, because it's October, so Christmas movies are up.
Yeah,
right now.
November, December.
It's October, so it's Christmas time.
I am hoping.
And one of my favorite parts of that movie is Hank's amazing suits, which really any photo you see of Hank, like,
did you watch it? You really watched it?
Yeah, I watched it.
I
Obviously.
feel completely out of the loop because I haven't watched it.
Well,
but
get out
now
here.
I need to. Hank,
You
what's
didn't.
your partner?
You're like the target audience too. I can't believe you didn't
I
catch
am-
this movie
I
that was
am a-
tailor made for you.
How am I the target audience?
You are.
No, I agree. I just want to know.
You should have. I'm in it. Excuse me. Like we all know,
Lovers
that
of Hank
we all
are the
know
target
that
audience.
straight white,
you love
white
Straight
men,
white 32-year-old
completely drawn. This is
slightly fat
completely
men
drawn
in
to-
green t-shirts with buttons.
You
are
guys, I
the-
think that I need to disclaimer. Sorry, do you want to finish your button thing?
No, buttons. That was
Okay.
it.
Guys, Nicholas is going to get into it today. I'm calling him Nicholas because I'm
getting
momming his
into
head.
it.
He's going to get into it when he tells his story, which I'm going to tell you the topic in a second.
I'm
But
scared.
Nick is a little sad, and so
I'm a little sad
Nick
today.
may have had a little bit of vodka before
That's
we
not
started
true.
today.
That's not true.
So basically he's going to act the same because he's always very sassy. But just throwing it out there in case in the middle of the video he unbuttons his shirt and starts flinging it around. That's why. So
I like to keep it interesting for the audio listeners and the video listeners.
it's true.
Yeah, what's everyone doing right now? Are you
Yeah.
on a treadmill? Are you in a car?
Yeah.
What's going on?
It's so fascinating.
Yeah.
Are you walking your dog?
What else?
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of being in Life Size 2 with Tyra Banks?
The money.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Disney. I just no.
No, that
my
was a
favorite.
good
My
answer.
favorite part on any set, honestly, is always the food. Like
Ooh.
if you have a huevos rancheros breakfast truck
Ooh.
every morning,
That's fancy
You
as well.
Huevos
have
rancheros.
you have a happy actor in Hank Chen.
All
you
right.
definitely.
What was your role? I'm so curious because I am just.
You're
I
watching.
Just love.
Are you gonna watch the very first airing this year in 2019?
I'm
The very
gonna.
first rerun. He's gonna appointment television. Doesn't matter if it's
I'm
1:00 in the
so
morning on
interested.
Freeform. I play.
I love Freeform. What was the show with Esther?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Povitsky?
No, for real. All those shows are like Pretty Little Liars. Like
They're
you must
pretty
have loved
Oh my
good.
gosh,
like,
I
all-
Freeform's
guilty
got good
pleasure.
shows.
I
We
guilty
have
pleasure
good
love
stuff.
Pretty Little Liars, dude.
Good Trouble.
What was the name of the show with Esther Povitsky? She's a very funny stand-up comedian.
Nine
and
Lives of Chloe King.
That
No.
was the name of it.
No.
It's a very good show, and she's got a friend, and they don't date, but they should date, and it's a very funny show.
So like the premise of every freaking rom-com.
Yeah. But they're comedians in L.A. and they're poor.
Oh.
You know who
And
had
Chris
a-
D'Elia's in it.
Crystalia?
Crystalia.
Sure.
Delia.
D'Elia? That's so
Chris
lame.
Sub Sandwich.
You know who had a talk show for a season? Nikki Glazer had a talk show on
Nikki
Freeform.
Glazer had a what was it called, like late night? And she stayed overnight in a strip club for a night. And it
I
was-
need to watch more TV, which I didn't think was possible because I know none of this.
That's fine.
so-
we all watch too much TV.
Right? Alone together? Sorry.
Alone Together.
Alone
Thank you, Mike.
I
Our
thought-
wonderful engineer.
Yes.
Alone Together is a very good show. It was on Freeform. You should go check it out. It's on Hulu.
I saw like Mike's face. Okay, so he looks above
Thank
the
you.
computer and goes, and then he shows Nick his phone. So I was like, oh, Nick's in trouble.
I thought I got in trouble for
I
a
thought
second.
you were like giving him a note of something. You're like, Nicholas,
Please
back
stop
away from the
being
mic. Yeah.
so fucking awful.
Yeah.
Was I thought was the note.
No. But okay, so speaking of being awful or not being awful or feeling
Now,
awful.
being awful and
I
feeling
just,
awful, let's
I
talk
just
about
feel
our
like
topic.
let's tell the topic and then we can go on tangents as
Yeah.
we do. But so the topic for today, and I'm going to try and is don't go to the hardware store for milk, okay? Which basically means, and Hank, maybe you can help me, but like is don't go somewhere to get something you need where it doesn't exist and they don't have it there, you know? So is there a better way to describe, like, as examples of, like, in relationships, like if you don't go to an emotionally unavailable person for emotional support,
Thank you.
things like that. Is that a good description?
Perfect. That's exactly the ballpark that I was.
Perfect. Okay,
pitching.
cool. So we've all got little topics about that.
I literally feel I love this topic.
Yeah?
I love this topic because I feel like it is basically every single decision I've ever made in my entire life.
Yes, that's why it's so hard to come up with one today, too. Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna
Never
look
goes
through-
to the right places or people
Yeah.
for things
No.
that he needs.
Why would I
Never.
ever do anything correctly or talk to the people who can emotionally satiate me in the way I
You
need?
don't, because you like pain, Nick.
Why does
You
this
like
vegan restaurant
pain.
have a sirloin? Huh? What's going on? Where's just every? Wow, your life sounds frustrating.
Yeah.
Just talk to my therapist, Dr. Schmer, 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 Schmer,
Shmur,
Schmer,
shmur, shmur, yes.
Everybody's named Schmer 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 in Nick's life. No wonder
Yeah.
he's so stressed out.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's hard. It's hard to have so many. So yeah, no, this sounds like a very relatable, very beautiful topic that I feel like we can all
Yes.
just spill on.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely.
So I think I'm gonna go first, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Get into it, dude.
So
how do you go to the wrong place for things that you need, even though they don't have them?
Do not go to the hardware store for milk. And this is a really good topic for me because I can tell you with straight up honesty, I have not been to the hardware store or bought milk in probably 10 years.
Samesies, dude.
Do you guys...
So that means you
This
succeeded?
is a little
No
off
story?
the topic, but like, yeah, I got no story. I just want to talk about dairy. What's your guys' relationship with dairy? Do you guys buy milk? Do you guys have
no,
milk
I don't,
in your fridge
I don't,
right now?
I don't drink milk at all. I drink almond milk.
I was gonna say I do all the substitutes.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I want to
Yeah.
know. I'm
Yeah.
curious right now.
I don't like tit pus from cows. All right.
What about tit pus
I'm
from
sorry,
humans?
everybody that I said tit pus. No, I'm also not. A
I'm
fetus
so
or a
happy you
baby.
said tit pus.
Ugh. Redacted.
So you do almond milk, Hank?
Coconut. If I
Ooh, I
need,
love
if
the
I need like a
coconut.
creamier, coconut is like a
It's
little.
like the Trader Joe's coconut beverage. I'm like, just call it milk.
That's
please.
right,
Yeah.
beverage
Yeah.
or what are oat? Is it oat milk? But there's certain
Yeah, they
ones,
got oat milk.
like
Oat milk
coconut and
sounds gross
almond
to
or
me.
or almond milk. There's one type of milk that I'm like, this is a straight up scam. This is white. This is white chalk with water. Like this.
They
is
call it cow
There
water.
are some almond milks that are like that because they didn't like grind it up enough, I think. But like, you know what's weird and is supposed to be the one with the most protein though? Is pea milk, and not to be confused with urine milk. PEA.
Okay, 'cause I was like, 'cause I had,
So,
I
like,
drank
it
some
tastes
pea
weird.
milk
It's
last
pea
night.
milk. No.
You know,
Nick's like, that's just semen, Jess. We're getting real gross today, guys.
Hey.
But no, like pea milk, I was like, oh, it's like 7 billion milligrams of protein. Don't quote me, I'm not a doctor. But I'm like drinking
you're
it, and I'm
not?
like, this kind of tastes like peas. It's like, when you drink the milk or
Yeah.
no, the water out of the carton, the cardboard thing. I'm like, this shit tastes like milk, and I know it doesn't, but like
in your head,
my
it
head,
tastes
my
like-
brain makes it
Yeah.
seem like, why does this taste like creamy? Yeah, don't drink pea milk. Anyway, I'm gonna get a cease and
Don't drink
desist.
pea
Right.
milk. Don't drink water from milk cartons.
Yeah.
Like Jess is full of information.
Okay.
All right. So
So what did you
don't
do?
don't go to the hardware store. Which also, when was the last time anyone? I haven't.
I go.
Do you go to the hardware store?
I love
I get plants from Home Depot.
That's smart. Okay, I love this.
I love Home
I
Depot.
love knowing this.
Succulents.
That's smart.
Always a
I
good
love walking
deal.
through and being like, oh man, if I had a kitchen and I had money,
Ah,
look at
love
all
it.
this remodeling shit I could do, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the main idea is that we shouldn't like look in the wrong places for things that
Yeah.
are going to emotionally or
Yeah.
like mentally satiate.
It's like you
us,
need
right?
something, don't look in the wrong place for
Yeah.
it. You're going to be disappointed over and over again, which like is a
Well-
big topic on just the hard way in general, is like learning things, being like, oh, I know that I shouldn't do that. Because even if you make the mistake, you still are like, but maybe this time it'll be
Yeah.
different, but maybe this time.
Yep.
And it's that sort of like
Yep.
repeated pattern. So it's either, in relationships with yourself, with other people, with friends, etc. So how's your
It's really hard, right? It's
Yeah.
really hard to just be a human who lives and is emotionally balanced these
Yeah.
days, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like probably a lot of people turn to a food. What do you guys eat when you're sad? Let me ask you. Let me pause
McDonald's.
it. McDonald's. I know that about you. You've got a
Pizza.
great.
Well,
you've got a great stand-up bit about your McDonald's needs.
Oh, yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. So funny. Hank, what do you eat when you're sad? Or do you not eat your feelings?
No, I do eat my feelings. I think I have a little bit more self-discipline when it comes to
That's
my diet now,
awesome.
but
Good for you.
I'm a chicken fettuccine Alfredo boy.
Oh, wow.
With like the extra
Chicken
Parmesan,
fettuccine
just something
Alfredo
creamy
boy.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
heavy.
Heavy.
and the
You're like,
carbs.
I'm already down. Let me weigh my body down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, but it kind of goes
That's
both
what
ways
I'll
for me.
do.
Like, I definitely know if I'm in a bad mood, I'll reward myself with like a giant pepperoni pizza
Yeah,
or some
sure.
McDonald's, but
Yeah.
But like, really, if I'm really stressed or depressed, I actually don't eat because I'm like, well, now I'm not hungry and I lose my appetite. So I'm not an eat my feelings person, but
Yeah.
I will every once in a while be like, I'm mad.
Yeah.
I deserve
Yeah.
this gross food.
Yeah. So, well, I love it. It's not gross to me. I just know it's not the
Well, because you're
healthiest.
yeah,
but I'm
chicken fettuccine Alfredo. I'm getting a Big Mac. There's a difference. Yeah.
Totally. I have always been there's nary been a feeling I couldn't eat.
Oh.
Like if I'm sad, if I'm happy, it doesn't matter. I remember when I was 21 years old, my best friend died. He got hit by a train and died. And I thought, this is fucked up. But I was like dealing with grief. And I thought, wow, at least I won't eat anything because I'm so sad.
Yeah.
And then in 45 minutes later, I ate an entire DiGiorno pizza.
Oh, was it stuffed crust?
No.
Oh
It
man.
was just a regular rising crust.
Was it supreme or was
No,
it pepperoni?
it was pepperoni.
12 inches.
That's the
was
jam,
pepperoni.
dude.
But so I have always been there's.
I'm sorry about
like-
your friend.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
dead for so long. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Still
he
sucks
should.
that it
He
happened.
should have
Well,
not
which we're going
died.
to talk about our dead best friends.
But
on
I have
another
just
episode.
always been able to eat my way through any emotion. It's how
Yeah.
I cope. And this is a fun little. I love this topic today because I can actually talk about right now, real life goings on. I went to the doctor yesterday. I have enough money to afford a PCP. Do you guys know what that means?
It's drugs.
Yeah, right. Normally,
No.
it also means
primary care physician.
Physician.
yeah.
I always want to say practitioner, but then
That
which I
sounds
think
way
I think it's
cooler.
correct.
It
Sounds
can
way
be- it
cooler.
can
Yeah,
be either,
it can
yeah.
be both. So I didn't know that there was another use for the term PCP other than meth isn't strong enough. So I went. I got my blood works, and I found out that I have an allergy to gluten, which could very well be directly related to the GI issues I have. Which GI issues just means shitting myself at points where I don't want to shit myself.
Yeah, dude. I have a very sour stomach. Do you actually
Sour
shit
stomach
yourself,
means
though?
no. I shit myself yesterday at work.
In your
2 days
pants?
ago.
In your pants?
It was in
What was
my
the
pants.
consistency?
It was liquidy and it got to my underwear, but it didn't get to my pants.
Did you think it was a fart and then it wasn't?
I thought it was a fart and it wasn't a fart.
sharted.
I sharted.
Oh, you
I
sharted.
sharted. I sharted at work 2 days ago.
Dude, that's so bad. I hate that.
Yeah, I hated it too.
I normally run to the bathroom knocking old ladies over, and I make it in time.
So I just found out that I actually do have a physical ailment towards, and I've known for the last couple of years because I've got these GI issues, and I've known that there was something wrong, right? But
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with it because dealing with things is difficult.
Yeah,
And
totally.
also, do you guys know what's in gluten? Do you guys know what gluten is in? Everything that is delicious.
Yeah, they even have gluten in soy sauce, which I learned.
Gluten is in soy sauce.
Yeah, which is nuts.
That's right.
Which is just brown, salty water. How is there gluten in it?
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense. But I just found out that not only are my eating habits bad for me mentally, they're bad for me emotionally. Or I'm sorry, physically.
Yes,
Also physically. So
I think all three, maybe, right?
I mean,
The whole trifecta of just.
So
no
I've
good.
always just kind of defaulted to not knowing how to deal with my emotions. Not I've got this
Yeah.
upset. I'm mad that this date didn't go well. I'm
Yeah.
mad that I fucked up at work today.
Yeah.
And I turn to food. And food is most delicious when it's battered and deep fried and covered in
Ooh,
flour.
That is
Yeah.
very true. That is very true.
So I just found out, honestly, I don't have a story to tell. I want you guys to give me advice.
Okay.
Because I just found out that I can't, deal with my issues the same way that I ever have because now they're bad for me.
Yeah,
and
well,
I don't, and it
you
fucks
can
up.
eat. You can eat other foods, but I don't think that's the point.
Yeah.
The point
That's
is,
the thing,
it's
that's
like,
not
do
the
you
point.
feel better when you eat your feelings? After you oh, this is great, or you now I'm even more of a piece of shit because not only am I sad, but I'm fatter.
The latter.
Yeah. See?
I feel shittier about it.
That's no good. So you're going to the hardware store for milk. Man.
I always look for food to solve my problems, and it doesn't work because I just feel shittier the next day. But also, I don't. This is straight up therapy. Look, you guys are not licensed therapists, but I need you to be right now. Okay. No, I'm kidding. But really,
I'll do it.
But really, I don't know how else to I mean, I'm sure we've all been there. Hank, have you ever eaten your feelings?
That's not my vice, but I was gonna say, is food what you gravitate towards usually to comfort yourself?
Food or booze,
more than anything else.
Food and booze are my number one and number two.
Dr. Jess will say.
Please, Dr. Jess, tell me.
Will say, careful, not to fill the gluten hole with alcohol, because that'll be a whole other set of issues, and you probably
can't
still shit
drink
your pants.
beer either.
Right.
Fucked up.
So here's the thing, too, to put in perspective. You just found this out yesterday.
Yeah.
Not only is that a lot of information, and knowing you love burgers, you love weedy
burgers,
beers,
I love pizza,
you love,
I love beer,
yeah.
I love
and
all
so
things
this is now very daunting, because you have to reevaluate and do a lot of work to change your life.
A lot of the aspects of my life that make me happy.
Yeah, you have to figure out oh, geez, these are my go-tos, these are my comforts. Even if you're not eating your feelings heavily, you're I get home, I want a beer. Can't do that.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's late. Let's order pizza. Can't do that. So this is stressful and daunting, but give
It's
yourself
stressful.
a minute to realize okay, it's not the end of the world, especially because now we know so many people have this issue that they're making so many other options.
Yeah.
And although spitefully, and I would feel similarly, fuck your gluten-free bread, dude. I want some real bread.
But I do actually have a physical. I can't hate myself for it.
But also, I would say find out, because like I said, if I eat too much cheese, and I can eat cheese, right?
Yeah, Jess can eat cheese.
But I can eat cheese in one meal of the day.
Okay.
And if I start putting cheese and dairy and everything, I don't drink milk, it's this is going to be a problem for me, and it's going to go one way or the other,
You know your butt problems.
Yeah, it's just not. I'm not going to be comfortable. I'm going to feel sick, So, but I can do it. So it's will you die if you eat some gluten?
No, I will not, and that's tough.
So then you can sort of still take liberties here and there, but just reduce it. See if that helps. Because shitting your pants, not a fun time. But maybe don't eat bread at work, dude. Eat bread on the toilet. Boom. Send it right through.
Love eating on the toilet.
Hire me to be your therapist.
That's been this episode of The Hard Way, a podcast about learning from your mistakes with Jess and Nick.
No,
Thank
you're
you so
right.
much for tuning in.
Yeah. And I appreciate it. It is very fresh, and I know that lots of people live with this ailment, and I know that I'm not special, and that my life isn't any more difficult.
You're special.
But no, I'm special in like a mommy loves me way, but that's it. But no, that is 100% true. I know that there are easy and accessible ways to work through this. I'm not trying to sound like a moany little bitch, who's life is over because now chicken wings might make me poop harder. But it is hard.
It's weird. I feel chicken wings?
Yeah, because they dredge them in flour.
And it's deep
get
fried.
The other type of flour, dude. There's workarounds, but also
there's workarounds.
Bonus. When you don't eat bread and drink beer, you get
weight.
thinner, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a skinny mini.
My doctor looked at my weight. My PCP looked at my weight, and he goes, "Okay, so you weigh shmishmishma." And he goes, "I'm not gonna say it."
Step on a scale.
My shoes weigh 150 pounds each, okay, and they didn't take them off.
All men weigh 250 pounds to me. I have no concept of.
I weighed 190.
Really? I don't know what men weigh. I don't know how old children are. They're all 6 years old.
Hank, how much do you weigh?
Whatever.
I'm 140.
I weigh 197, but I had shoes on, so I'd say that's probably about 150.
I weigh 130 or 125, depending on if I ate one tiny piece of bread.
Well, then I lied. I weigh 160.
I'm also short, and you're not.
It's hard. No. It's so I know that it's not like a desert. I know that I can do this. I know that I have the capability to eat healthier, to make myself better, and then I will lose weight, and I won't shit myself on my way to Bert's back room 50% of the time, you know? Bert's, why do I always poop when I go there?
They're like, that guy, why is
about
it
to shit his
stinky
pants
whenever he gets here?
Oh, I would just turn around. I would just walk back with the load in my pants.
Oh, my God. Don't say load in pants.
Load in pants. But it's hard, man.
I'm going to make a list of things Nick's not allowed to say. Parts. Load in pants.
So that's what I do. when I'm trying to buy milk and I'm going to the grocery store is I'd look at food that doesn't make me feel better. It literally makes me physically feel worse.
So are you worried that you're going to start, like, now using that as, like, a self-punishment? You're like, I know I shouldn't eat this gluten, but I'm in a bad mood, so I'm going to do it, and you know, you're going to hate yourself even more.
You just unveiled some mental issues that I didn't even know were going to happen. But yes, I am going to do that. I am going to do that, yes.
Shit. Well, hey,
Thanks, Jess.
welcome to the club, man.
Yeah.
It's like...
No, I'm going to do that. But it's only because I'm sad and broken.
It's going to be daunting. Just drink right out of the bottle. Show them how sad you are, dude. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, so, you know, I'm going there. I'm trying to find a solution, but it's just food. It's not going to be a solution. It's going to make me feel bad.
Give yourself a minute, because it's going to take work, and that's annoying, because now you have to, like, reevaluate stuff. You have to put forth effort when you're like, before I just existed, you know? And you were just sort of reactively trying not to have something happen. Now
Jess, I honestly want you to be my therapist. You sound very learned and knowledgeable.
I've been to so much therapy, I'm basically a therapist, is like my theory.
Everything you're saying is very helpful.
Dude, I'm just repurposing information that I've got.
Well,
because
thank you.
It's real and it's good, you know.
Thank you.
And I'll tell you, like, some tidbits that one of my favorite therapists said when I tell my story.
Perfect.
Or my, you know, thing. So,
well, I'm broken. Let's move on to Hank. Hank, you look like a very in shape.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Did we break this down? So, literally yesterday, you took a crap in your pants, and that's when you realized that you may have had an addiction to.
No, I took a crap in my pants yesterday or 2 days ago, and that had nothing to do with the fact that I had also gotten a lot of blood work done and gotten
he always eats his feelings, and now it's going to be harder because he has a gluten allergy and the things that he eats.
My feelings are gluten. I feel gluten.
Oh, so it was okay. I don't know how I missed that.
No, it's okay.
There's been a lot going on with the. I was like,
drinking.
Nick has a lot of problems. I can't just pinpoint it to one area.
And I love that this is the first time you guys met. So he's like, Jesus, this is the guy.
Actually. Well, we have crossed paths several times.
True,
yeah. Just in the scene, but
not
I'm glad
in a face to name way.
I'm glad that we're actually having conversation.
It's great.
Do you feel like food is an addiction for you?
Yes. It's a very serious. It's a problem.
Have you considered Overeaters Anonymous? Like a support group?
No, but I am going to therapy.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
did
that's
you find one?
I did.
You found one that you liked?
Yeah.
Which is hard, you know.
Yeah, no, not only one that I like, but one that takes my insurance and is in fucking Van Nuys.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to go to fucking Altadena to get mental health now.
Name more cities where you could go that are far.
Also Van Nuys. Wait, fuck.
People that live in Van Nuys are like, I'm done with this podcast.
Yeah, fuck this podcast. I love Van Nuys. Sherman Oaks, fuck you.
Yeah.
Where, is there a time in your childhood that you feel like you could pinpoint where you started to...
Ooh, yeah, no, because I have something similar to that. Go ahead. Is there?
No, I don't. I've always kind of... I've always been a little bit heavy. I've always been like, when I was a kid, I was real
No, but there's no
fat.
reason, like, did your parents, like, make you clean your plate growing up?
No. My parents are dope. My parents are really nice.
So I'm sure, yeah, because, like, usually it's come from somewhere. Like, where's did your parents eat a lot? Like, you know.
I got made fun of when I was in 7th grade. I got pretty hard.
Everybody gets made fun of in middle school.
That's the thing.
You're at your ugliest when you're in middle school. You're like transitioning from a child to like you got no teeth.
Yeah, I got
or you got
booked.
braces.
You know, you guys remember getting booked when they would just knock the books out of your hand?
Oh yeah, walking down the
because we weren't allowed to have
hallways.
backpacks back then, even though we shouldn't have them now because of guns. But like you couldn't have a backpack back
You had to carry all your books in your hands.
And then they would book me, and they would say fatty. Or like fat fuck.
Dude, I have the best thing to tell you. First of all, fuck that person who did that. They suck.
He was like a big, tall, sexy Indian kid.
Bullies are the worst, and they're probably really sad right now. So fuck them. But check this shit out. I was just watching last night. I went to see the John Leguizamo Latin American History for Morons thing.
Latin history.
Got one of the coolest quotes out of it that he said his daughter said about like bullies and people that like beat you up. And they're like, if you think of a bully like sandpaper, right? And they're like rubbing against you. It's uncomfortable. At the end of it, they're going to be useless because it like wears away. And you're going to be polished, right? So it's like bully sandpaper. They're useless when it's over. You're polished. You're better now. Isn't that such a nice little...
Hey, John Leguizamo, you've come a long way from just being that person who I ignored in Spawn.
Was he in Spawn?
He was
in
Spawn.
It's just that sort of
No,
like,
that's actually that's a fantastic.
Shit makes you stronger, dude. But
and maybe some of it's made me stronger, but I still look to food. And now I've found out that food literally makes my skin break out in eczematic rashes.
Maybe you hit your wheat quota because you ate too much while you were eating your feelings.
Yep. That sounds accurate.
Let it pour out and then refill the chambers. And
with not wheat.
With not wheat.
Yeah.
You're probably going to feel better, too.
I'm going to feel better. I'll probably lose fucking weight.
This is all very stressful, though. Like, don't tell me what to eat.
Stressful.
I will want to eat it harder.
Yeah. Yesterday, I went on a gluten rampage.
No.
I drank about 13 beers.
Oh, my goodness.
Like real weedy beers. I ate an entire pizza, and I made pasta 2 times because I fucked it up the first time.
That is literally you going to...
But he ate the fuck up. He was like, I messed this up.
Yeah.
I have to make another one.
He messed it up on purpose so you could eat 2 pastas back to back.
Basically. Hank, I want to hear about you. I'm tired of hearing about me. What about you, buddy?
You're going to be fine, buddy.
Thank you.
I
appreciate it.
We're all
Jess,
going to be
you.
okay. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the podcast.
Hell yeah, dude.
Thank you so much for coming
Of
to the podcast.
course. Well, I asked you if you ever considered going to a support group because I believe, well, the slogan is actually, at least I heard it out of a support group. And I believe it's very popular amongst support groups about not going to the grocery store for milk and the
Not going to the
hardware store for milk. There you go.
That's
No,
what you
definitely go to the grocery store for milk.
Go?
Definitely go to the grocery store for milk.
Don't drink milk.
Don't go to the hardware
Go
store
to
for
a
milk.
dairy farm, you fucking jerks.
Yeah. Only buy organic. No, I don't go to the hardware store for milk. And I think for me, as a child, clearly I've been thinking about this for a while. I didn't realize until this year just how controlled your environment is as a child. If you think about it, you're either like at home under the supervision of your parents, you're like in the car with your parents, or like another caretaker,
You're
or
like a
at
kidnap
school.
victim.
Sure, or like you're at school being supervised by your teachers. It's just your world is very much sculpted and controlled.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so whatever that environment it is, hopefully it's healthy. A lot of times it's not. Your parents are dealing with their own things that they, put on you.
Right. That's no good because it's like a kid can't handle this like information.
But
and we've talked about how hard it is to be a parent on this podcast. Like, it's fucked up, but like you can't help but push your own shit on your kids.
But I think that there's also a level of like they've been a kid and they've probably had that happen. So then you should know a little bit better of like, and also you chose to have a child. So I feel like I'll give them leeway for sure because
if you chose to have a child,
right? But like if
Choose.
but it's still I'm sure it's tough to know like what's the line. There's no right answer.
No, exactly. Exactly. There's no correct way to parent.
Yeah.
Right. So I think like it's sort of but you don't know what you don't know, and so growing up in that environment, you just think that this is
normal.
how it's supposed to be, and I think for a lot of people, you become accustomed to discomfort. What is it? You become like that baseline of discomfort, or no, that level of discomfort just becomes sort of like a baseline thing for you. Kind of like, this is a perfect example we talked about before we started the podcast. Is this AC going to be on or is it going to be off? So the AC right now is on, but because it stayed on, we have forgotten about it and the listeners can't hear it either.
Right.
However, it's something that is very much present. And so I think for me, I had the pressures of growing up in an Asian culture as well as a religious upbringing on me. And so there
Christian?
were Christian,
guessing,
yes. So there were no Buddhist. Okay, just kidding. One of those Asian religions. No, very, very Christian.
One of those Asian.
Praise Jesus. Yes.
Jesus all the way.
Yes.
None of that.
Tibetan monk. Right.
Bellied Buddha bitch.
Right. So because I had these, there's a certain set of guidelines that the culture and the religion bring and impose onto their communities.
Yeah.
I, from a very young age, did not feel like I fit in, so I started to lop off parts of my consciousness in order to survive, because that's the life that right? Like now and so what I also heard was the tools that you needed to survive will not help you when it's time to thrive. So those calluses that I built up, and that my ability to shut down as a child in order to stay in my house in order to stay fed.
To be in
and
your parents' good graces, basically.
Sure. Well, in order to get the love, enough love to get me by, right? Because I did not feel unconditionally loved. I'm not. You know, and a lot of people can identify with that feeling.
Yeah.
But now I'm an adult, and I have only recently realized that I have the power to walk away. And Jess has seen. We've been friends for several years, and Jess says, "Oh, you even met him during the." But you know, I was in an abusive relationship that I got out of almost 2 years ago.
With a partner.
With a partner, and when you're in these situations, you feel like you don't have a choice because you are modeling the relationship that you had as a child. Because when you were 7, you didn't have a choice; you had to stay there. But now you have the freedom to walk away, and so that's what it means.
Right. Which is hard, and that takes effort. And to your point with that, like that sort of like compartmentalizing and like adapting,
right?
Just to like, you know, despite yourself, and this isn't how I really feel, but how I feel doesn't matter. All that matters is like making sure everything stays calm and cool. And,
I'm not the one who is ruining things,
right?
Basically,
but like so, like that sort of. It's got to be hard to then just like be yourself after you spent so much time being like, wait, what am I doing? How am I going to fix this person? How am I going to make sure that like nothing goes wrong? That's like so much emotional energy to keep everything just so. And of course that would carry into your relationships, you know?
And you feel like it's all got to be on you.
Yeah.
You feel
it's all your fault.
Yeah.
At that point.
It's my fault that I'm gay. You're right. It's my fault that I'm not excelling in all of the subjects that damn Asians are supposed to excel in. I actually am very good at math, but didn't get into any of the Ivy League
stereotype. You gay stereotype. I'm joking, of course.
And
is your father? Can I ask you? I'm sorry if
go right ahead.
But like,
go right ahead.
Is your family kind of? I know you said you're religious, but like, is homosexuality kind of an issue?
Not cool.
That and I'm sorry, you're
Chinese.
Chinese. Okay. Well, hey China.
Hey China.
I'm speaking to
you
China.
know what?
Right
I feel like you shouldn't speak to China right now because you're gonna get all of us banned. Okay.
Nicholas
I would like to go
Kaminsky.
back to China to.
China, you're fine.
Yeah.
I'm
not trying to get put on no,
but
put on a list.
Here's the thing, though. It's like it's Chinese. It's not okay.
It's the culture, yeah.
And
Asian culture.
And
it's
religious.
American
It's not
culture.
okay. So double whammy.
Sure.
No, that's
you're not
why
allowed to do that. You know.
Well, all I want to say is, China, you're great. We love your listenership.
Your
Please
food's
keep
amazing.
listening.
Your food is so
Your
good.
food's so good, but also, hey, people are gay. It just happens.
So-
That's just a thing. Don't get mad.
So Hank,
Yes.
what's it like now?
Oh yes. So right now I am.
So when have you gone? Like, tell me
Oh my God!
about the hardware store and tell me about milk.
So many times, and also my fault is these goddamn hardware stores will advertise that they sell milk. You know, and that's what I'm saying. They lie to you. They lie to you.
They're like, yeah, I'll be there.
They go,
I'll be
yeah,
there.
You show up and this rotten carton of milk is in some
That's
cooler
tough.
in the back, you know, some dirty, you know, it's on some melted ice and it's, you know, expired and shit. And
Switcheroo.
and you go, well, technically they weren't lying, and you go, you know what? I guess I'll just take this and accept
And this
it.
is the best they can do.
This is the best I can do.
Yeah.
This is the best I can do. You know what? I probably can't find good milk anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know what? I have to stay in the store. I can't.
Yeah.
No. I know there's I've heard of a grocery store 2 blocks away. They probably don't have it.
Sounds
Well, if the hardware store is
go.
telling me that they have it and this is all I'm ever going to be able to get,
Yeah.
they're probably right.
Well, that's like, is that something
Yeah.
that your
Yeah.
ex would say or your parents would say or both? Because I'm totally familiar with somebody being like, oh, you know, when people are like, nobody's going to love you like I do, you get treated like this because you deserve it.
I
you know?
have.
Gas lit.
So there's
Yeah.
a little bit of that. I actually had that problem more with professional relationships
Oh, wow.
where
That sucks.
but because we work in entertainment, and so
Yeah.
there's always a threat of you'll never work in this town again.
Yeah.
So you feel like
Yeah.
on whatever job you have to accept shitty hours
Yeah, you have
or
to get
bad
stepped
pay.
on, yeah.
You have to
or bad food.
accept
Which
that
is why
you are treated
unions
like shit.
exist, you know?
Or
for-
bad food, or just disrespect, and it's actually really okay to be like, you know what, this doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And so
Should
you know,
be okay.
I'm in 12. I'm in 12 step. You know, you can self-identify. I'm not going to call anybody else out who's in an anonymous program.
Where are you in 12 steps?
So I'm in for codependence. So I'm in
Okay.
Al-Anon.
Okay, great.
And the way that
That's
I
so
break
cool
it,
that
the way
you're easy to talk about.
the way that I break it down is I'm addicted to addicts.
Okay.
So if you're a workaholic or a sexaholic or an alcoholic, I will heal you with my love. I am
Do you
here.
You want to fix somebody?
Yes, but I'll tell you.
You want to fix.
But I'll tell you why. I want to fix you,
Please.
so I don't have to focus on myself.
Yeah.
So I don't have to look at my own problems.
Yeah.
So I can get that temporary ego stroke that comes from being of service to somebody else, whether or not they ask for it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
that's
Yes.
another thing.
Want-
It's
no,
like you're
I get it.
putting. But also, do you think there's an aspect of like if it doesn't
So it
work,
attracts users. Yeah.
But there's also, is there an aspect of like, oh, well, if it doesn't work out or if they flip out, you're like, well, they're an addict, so it makes you feel better that 'cause
sure.
if some perfect person is treating you poorly, you're like, well, that's because I'm shitty.
Well, a perfect person wouldn't treat me poorly, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Stop going to the hardware store for milk.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
stop going.
Hey.
So it's like you
Yeah.
keep setting yourself up to fail by being like, well, I'm just going to surround myself with a person that, one, because like when you're looking at somebody like that that you want to fix to make better, because
Yeah.
one, you're ignoring your own problems,
Yeah.
but two, like,
It's because of you.
right, but also like they can't give you what you need because they're not giving themselves what they need, which is
Yeah.
why they're an addict. So it's like you know
actually
you're not going to
trying
get anything
fix
out of
something
them.
in yourself.
Well,
Yeah.
look at it this way too. This was the best. Let me going back to our hardware store analogy because then that's the title. The friend that brought me into the program to begin with was like, so you go to a hardware store and you're like, "Hi, I'd like to buy a gallon of milk." They're like, "Sir, we don't have any milk." You go, "I want milk." They're like, "We don't have it." You're like, "Give me the goddamn milk!" And you start screaming, and the security comes. Who looks crazy? You look crazy.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
You look
So
crazy.
you and imagine you showed up a second time. And you say, "Okay, I'm back. Where's the milk?" They're like, "Okay, we still don't have it."
Yeah.
You're like, "But I came back.
Yeah.
I put gas in my car.
Yeah.
I drove here. I took time out of my day, and I am here.
And I told you I needed it last time. Why didn't you go get it?
I
Yeah.
am
Yeah.
here.
right.
Where is my fucking milk?" You still look crazy.
Yeah.
And so what I used to do was the worse someone treated me, or I could even just say neglected, right? So
The
some
more you demanded the milk.
the more I would give more because I was
you
like,
need that milk.
because I was like, now you owe me. So
Yeah.
my giving was not a selfless giving. My giving was collateral.
Yeah.
And it would be, and I would decide that this person needs to love me. I
Yeah.
need attention from this person, whether or not they wanted to give it or were capable
Yeah.
of giving it at all.
Right.
You've been anointed by Hank,
And,
okay?
and you did all these nice things for them, but they didn't ask you to do them, and now you're
or
rubbing
maybe
it in
they
their
did,
face.
or
Yeah.
maybe they did, but regardless, they're not capable
Yeah.
of.
But guess what, Hank?
Yeah.
You are a fantastically enjoyable person to
Thank
be
you.
around. You are lovely. You are funny. You are
Thank you.
charming. You deserve all the accolades that ever get accoladed.
Oh my God! Can I come back next week?
Yeah,
can
you
I?
can come back every week and just give me a little kiss on the cheek and we'll be good.
Just the cheek?
No, but Hank, but what
boy.
I'm saying is I agree with you, as I understand. But
Yeah.
you found yourself in this little pocket where you needed this one dude to satiate every single
Not just
thing
one
that
dude.
made-
I did this. I did this across the
Well,
board in my
you-
life.
yeah.
I
you
started from
found
the parents
you
to
found this
employers.
pattern to
friends.
fall into.
But it takes work to break the pattern that you've done your whole
Yeah,
life. What
it's
I want to
hard.
know is
It's
because
not
like
easy.
the relationship thing, I totally can relate to.
People relate to it differently. Like
Right,
yeah.
but like I'm wondering like how does it look when you're doing that to your parents? Like how are you asking them for milk when they don't have it? Like and then sort of like holding it against them.
You can't.
You can't.
That's how it
Like the
is.
Chinese rough hands, yeah.
You literally. So the answer for me, and I think that is applied to other people, is stop going to the hardware store.
Yeah. So for you, it's just like I just can't be around them
So-
because it makes me feel bad.
Well, no, you're not going to avoid the street that the hardware store is on. You can drive
Right.
by it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, but you drive by it and not feel like you have to crash your car.
Everything's on
right.
Main
It
Street.
becomes just something that exists. Like there
Yeah.
are plenty of people I think in our industry and that we've come across, or even just exes where you're like.
Yeah.
And now I honestly have sort of let go with a lot of serenity because I've also learned that when I was a kid, I was a fighter because I had to be because they would come after me
Because you
with
were,
the bucks because
you were gay?
I was in defense for whatever reason. You're gonna have to ask them. You know, like I don't know
Fuck
what
those guys, but good
Yeah.
for you.
He was getting booked left and right.
But
dude.
my point, is, I you had to stand up for yourself,
Yeah.
and now
That's hard.
And now I don't, right? Now I can just be like, oh, you know what? This doesn't work for me, and I can just walk away. But, you know, in my early adult life, I would still go after people, whether through gossip or through
right,
what
because you're trying to like set even the
I'm
score.
trying to take him down. I'm trying
Yeah.
to take you. I'm trying to teach you a lesson. You're going to get what you
You're
deserve.
on the defensive
Man,
mode, and
sweet
you got to
Hank,
take
I didn't know
those
you were
fuckers
so
down.
vindictive.
And the
scary.
energy
We're learning.
I've learned that the energy you spend trying to take someone else down is far much better spent on yourself and moving
Yes,
yourself
which is kind of
Yeah.
like what I'm going to go into when I'm talking about
I mean,
it. Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston and Angelina Jolie can coexist in the same ecosystem as each other, and like
And
effectively.
they sure can.
And they sure can. You know, I mean, people just focus on yourself and worry about yourself, and I think people generally just want to stay out of trouble. I
Yeah.
think as an adult, so you know, it's given me a lot more peace,
Yeah.
I would say, and
Because people will show their true, like going around and destroying somebody's like reputation makes you look worse.
Makes
It
you
does.
look like
Than
a
them.
real
Yeah.
fucking asshole.
or I mean, I've done things where I've gone after employers who owed me money.
Well, that's different.
that is
Yeah.
different,
That's different.
but.
They owe you money.
But
Yeah.
you know, I probably didn't need to send the email cussing them out. I probably did.
Yeah.
I probably
yeah.
could have just directly gone
Yeah.
to the
Maybe
labor board
not.
and just
Yes.
filed the claim instead of
Right.
like
You know, you had,
calling them
you,
and
you
like
had
berating
to let them know
Yeah.
that they sucked. And
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's my biggest issue
Yeah.
too with people, which is what I'll talk about.
oh, Jess, I love
Yeah.
you so much.
I love you too,
Jess,
man.
you are a perfect humanage. in
No,
my
I'm not.
opinion. But no,
I am
Hank,
very
I totally,
flawed.
So things are.
Hank, I
yeah.
totally get what you're saying, though. Like,
Thank you.
You just need to you need to exist in a world where you don't shit on other people, but like you need to understand that you have value and
Right.
that you don't
But you don't be a doormat.
deserve
Yeah,
to
but
be
you-
shit on.
Right, but also you have to realize what people's capacities are, decide
Yeah.
if you want to be around them.
What is
with,
the amount
yeah,
of
it's like
shittiness
this
that
is
I
the best they
handle?
can do.
Right.
That's okay with me, but I at least now won't be disappointed because I'm not going to expect anymore.
And
But that's like
and that
you.
is so much easier
Yeah.
said than done.
Well,
It's
you
hard.
do be by spending time with them a lot. You know where the limit is, but you refuse to acknowledge it because you don't want that to be the truth.
You know the limit for yourself.
Yeah.
I've stopped
Yeah.
trying to read everybody else's mind. I've
Absolutely.
tried
Ooh,
trying to
yeah.
figure out other people's motives.
Absolutely.
I know it works
George, that's,
for
Hank,
me.
That's so important.
Oh, tying it back. So you were saying, what's it like? I guess dealing with parents, and I wanted to broaden it up and say, you gain confidence with your little successes. So it's kind of like so since we're all stand up, so it's kind of like going to your first open mic, and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, I didn't do that bad, or
Yeah.
maybe you did do bad, but you're like, I'm gonna get up and do
But
it
I
again.
didn't die,
Once
yeah.
you didn't die, and once you start succeeding, you just gain more confidence that way. And so it happened with my professional career as I started to book little TV roles. I was like, oh,
Oh, wow.
I'm capable of doing that. I'm
That's
capable,
so
and you
cool.
just keep climbing that. And even when it comes to functional relationships, you're like, oh, this has been a successful friendship, and this has worked. You know, like for honestly, until this year, I haven't had a successful romantic relationship, but I've been with a guy for almost a year now, and he's terrific. And honestly, like Jess has heard me complain about all these other people in my
Yeah.
life, and even my therapist would be like, you know, how's Jim? Is his name? And I'll be like, Jim's great. Like
Hi,
literally,
Jim.
there's nothing to talk
Which is
about because
good, yeah.
we.
That's awesome.
No, I feel
I'm not counting
I was
the
gonna
time.
ask, but you answered my question.
No, I feel
already.
the same way. Like with
Yeah.
my current boyfriend,
Right.
same thing. I don't have complaints, because it's like he's not
'Cause you-
he treats me well and is nice and is
'Cause there's
cool.
Travis
yeah.
is a
but it's like, every
lovely human being.
every other person before that was like
Obsessed.
the-
You were obsessed. What did they mean? They texted this.
Yeah, I
what-
was confused all the time,
Right.
and I'm like, my mom said it best, like when it was just like a few months in or a year in to dating, and she's like, "Wow, this is the first relationship I've ever seen you be in that you weren't on an emotional roller coaster the entire time." And I'm like, that is
It's
so true.
calm.
Yeah, it's like I'm not stressed, I'm not confused.
Bring on the
Yeah.
boredom. Bring it on. Bring on
Yeah.
the stability.
I love
Give
it.
it to
And
me.
You know what? I like Travis a lot as a person, but you know why I like him the most is because he makes you happy.
Thank
You're great.
Jess, tell us about.
Yeah,
Tell us
let's
your
get into
example.
Yeah, let's get the.
Let's-
You're doing my goddamn
Oh,
job
sorry.
for me, Hank.
Can we
No,
keep it
no.
moving, please?
Hank,
Can we
you're amazing.
rolling
Hank,
on a
all right.
river? Yeah.
Do it forever. Just be
I'm gonna-
this host.
I'm gonna
of
go
this
ahead.
Podcast. Please, Jess, tell us everything.
Okay. All right. So, like you were saying, similarly, just that sort of expectation from people and going to the same place and not getting it back. And I have so many examples of this that I'm like, oh, which one am I going to talk about? But I basically have this issue of, like you were saying, you had to email them, and you I could have just filed the report, but I had to tell them that they sucked.
I had to cuss them out.
Well, and
I
that's
had to block and unfriend all over social media.
Right, and that's like my issue too. Is like I have to make them get it, and I have to let them know why they sucked. And it's always like I think it's going to make me feel better, but it totally doesn't. And that energy could be better spent on myself. So like. I remember one of my favorite therapists ever said to me, like, one, don't get in people's heads, so don't try and read people's minds because that'll get you. But two, they don't have to get it, like, and all of your energy
really nice.
to like make people have to get it is like.
Can you explain a little bit? They don't have to get it. Can you explain
me
what that means?
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Know.
So basically, like somebody, I'll just tell you the story that I have an example of because that'll make it make sense. I think. Okay, so an example of how I like act this out and it always backfires because I feel worse because I wasted so much energy is. I had a friend of mine, like you were talking about blocking social media and whatever. I had a friend of mine that like we were both in each other's weddings. We were really close friends, and. When I moved to LA, we kind of lost a little bit of touch, but I check in here and there.
The distance.
Yeah, and I've like had friends like that where I go a long time without talking, and it's fine. But then with this friend, I kind of reach out here and there. I'd see her like post something on Instagram, and I'd be like, oh, we should catch up. So I tried to do that a few times, and then, it never really went out, and life happened, and I wasn't really thinking of it much. And I was like, oh, I wonder how she's doing in my head, but I didn't reach out because the couple times that I did, it didn't really go anywhere, but... I wasn't mad. I was just like, life happens. She's busy. I'm busy. Whatever.
Humans are humans.
Yeah. And then one day, like, you can like stick your whatever your
tag
whatever your
tag
name is.
Post?
No, your name. Like your why am I blanking on what it's called? Like your name on Instagram. Like mine is Jess for a minute, right?
Yeah.
You can put that in and sort of on some of these apps, and it'll tell you like who unfollowed you and who follows you. And I remember kind of. And I'm never doing this again. But I just remember like I had a bunch of people following me or that I was following that I was like, who are these people? I don't know who they are. So I was kind of like looking to clean it up a little. And I saw her name on the unfollow list. So I was like, she unfollowed me? What? And so I was like, did I do something?
Yeah.
What did I do? Like
I can't help but worry.
Right. I'm like, I barely have talked to her, but I'm like, I thought we were close enough friends that she wouldn't just like write me off. I must have done something, So I sent her a message and I say just that. I'm like, oh, I noticed your name on this list. And I kind of found it odd. Like, hopefully I didn't do anything to offend you. Hope you're well. I know we kind of lost touch, but what's up, So I asked her that, and then I see a few hours later that she read the message. Because when you send somebody a message on Instagram, you can tell they read it. So I was like, this bitch fucking read it and did not respond. So of course, like passive aggressively, I'm like, oh cool, you saw it and didn't answer. Awesome. Because again, I'm like, you're supposed to be like, dude, we're really close friends. What is this shit? Tell me I'm an asshole, and I'll tell you I'm sorry. Like, don't just like unfriend me. So anyway, so then she responds to me with the craziest the next day with the most like passive aggressive, subtly jabby.
A paragraph, right?
No, it's a long thing, and it starts with like, I genuinely hope you're doing well, right?
No, bitch, no, you're not.
No, you're not, right?
Bitch, no, you are not.
No, you don't.
Passive aggressive.
Right. Wait,
you don't genuinely
just wait
wish
for it.
anything.
Hope you're well. Fuck you. No, you don't, bitch.
I genuinely wish you're well! Exclamation point.
Bitch.
Right, and then she says this. Watch this contradiction right away.
Pull it up right now. Let's read it right now. I'm just kidding. No,
let's read it right now.
Just recount it. Go ahead. Sum it up.
No, I remember. So she says, "I genuinely wish you're doing well." Nick, get a grip, please. I'm trying to tell my story here.
Kissing our host.
Okay, stop it.
Guest, you're the host.
Oh yes, he's the host now. All right. So anyway, I'm trying to. So she says. Nick, you're killing me. So she says, oh, I hope you're well. And then she says, I have better things to do than to respond right away to a message from you that says you just noticed I unfollowed you on Instagram. I was like,
you.
Oh, bitch.
Fuck you, you well-timed bitch.
She has a point. She does have a point, though.
No, but,
well-timed.
but she didn't have to say it.
She says it like a bitch after she genuinely wishes me well.
Right. Trifling.
Right.
Trifling.
Then she goes into we lost touch, whatever. It's fine. Life happens. But then, we became holiday card friends, fine by me. She's like, but then you didn't text me on my birthday. And I was like, our friendship is over. Anyway, I hope you're well, blah, blah, blah. You clearly have too much going on, and I need better friends like that in my life. And I was like,
did you forget to text her on her
Probably,
birthday?
but she didn't text me on my birthday, and my birthday comes before hers. Second of all, why couldn't you have been like, dude, it bothered me you didn't text me on my birthday? And I would have been like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, you're right. I wasn't thinking. But then instead, you just like unfriend me and then tell me this like, who knows, like months later after you were just going to write me off. So I'm like, wait a minute. So then I had to, instead of just being like, all right, cool, bye, because she said we're not friends. It's over.
Your friend sucks.
But I had to sit there and
You
write her
shouldn't
this
have to.
long.
You had to retort.
I
No, but you
had
shouldn't
to
have
make
to
her
do that.
understand that she
Oh,
was
that
wrong.
sucks
God.
because you spent so much time and you.
No, because like I was upset and trying to fix it, and she's just like, whatever, bye. She didn't care enough to tell me about it. She didn't care enough to tell me about it, right?
No, that sucks.
But then
because you were
I
put in
spend
an
all.
unfair position.
But then I spend all this time giving it to her and making her try to understand that she's wrong and here's this thing and whatever. And so I write this long ass thing about like, here's why you're wrong.
Position.
Here's why, like da 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 da. I did try to reach out and you didn't, I'm sorry I didn't text you on your birthday, but hey, you weren't even a good enough friend to let me know. Whatever. I just tell her all this shit. Basically told her where to put it. She goes, okay, and blocks me. So after that happened, I was like, oh my God, you just put forth so much energy crafting this beautiful,
Diatribe.
diatribe that she didn't.
Took hours, right?
No, but it took a good amount of time. It took like 20 minutes to write this thing for somebody who didn't give a shit enough.
No, she didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, why? And then when she says okay, I was like, I wish I would have said okay, and then just blocked her. I wouldn't
just not spend
Like, 'cause
25
how much
fucking
more-
minutes to have a fucking.
yeah. Which how much more powerful would that have been?
Yeah, you would have been the way doper chick.
First, well, it's not about winning, but I think silence
It
would
is,
be more
though.
powerful. Just
Yeah,
just
right.
disappear.
It is about winning. I'm so
Right.
sorry. I'm so sorry. But it's about winning.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's
It
about
is.
it's about winning. But then winning for me would have been to respond with nothing or with okay. Winning was not writing this long ass thing because
And
I was.
winning for me-
because
no,
what was
you
I
are
expecting?
100%
I was
right.
expecting her to come back and be like, you know what, you're right. Da da da.
You
She
are-
didn't care. She
Jess,
didn't like. So
Jess,
going to hardware
You
store.
are 100% correct.
Yeah.
And I hate that you are correct because I'm about to say you're a fantastic person and co-host.
I know, man. You are too.
Dude,
But right now-
but we fuck with
How
things
much
differently.
vodka have you had, Nick?
Nick.
How
No, but
many
we
cups?
fuck with things different. No one
Yeah.
needs to talk about vodka.
The whole point is wasting your time on people that don't deserve it, and also,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what was the point of that? I went to the hardware
Also,
store
Hank,
for
a
milk
lot.
essentially because I was like expecting that to change things, or do
Right.
or somehow
But
get
you
her to
just are
get her to
amazing.
acknowledge me.
How did it
know?
serve you?
But,
It
but
didn't,
like it
right?
didn't. It made me feel like a dumbass because she was able to just be like, okay, bye, and I should have. Oh, how much more powerful would it have been if I said okay, bye?
Well, I will tell
think-
everybody that Jess is the most powerful person that I've ever
Aw.
met.
I think that, I feel better for letting this out. I feel like we should wrap it up, guys. Let's just recap here and say, guys, put that emotional energy into yourself, not into other people that aren't
Do
there
not.
for you and wouldn't,
Go to the hardware store if you want nails.
Yeah.
If you want nails,
Yeah.
if you
If
want
you need
caulk.
nails, go to the hardware store.
if you
but
want
if
plants.
you don't, do
And
not.
Hank, is there anything that you want to promote before we get off here?
Yes and yeah. Well, yes. Well, but to wrap it up too, I would like to promote mental health and therapy. You guys,
Yes.
like all of the work that
Love
I've been doing, and
therapy.
I'm still doing. I don't do it alone.
It
I have
never stops.
the support. It's the same. You're going to encounter the same problem over and over and over again until you learn it. So that's as of right now, I am bumming around town doing some jokes on the stages. So just follow
Yay.
me
And-
on.
And your,
It's
yeah,
fucking
tell them
hilarious.
your Instagram,
So
and
Instagram,
I'll tag it in there too.
yay! So Instagram is Hankster Chen. Hankster Chen on Twitter, Hankster Chen on Instagram, and Life Size 2. Hopefully, I believe the Christmas schedule for
I'm gonna
Freeform
watch it
will be
again.
released probably in November.
I'm into
So-
it. I'm so excited to watch it.
So
Yay.
I hope you guys will
So
check out one
excited.
of the many reruns, and I believe it's on Hulu right now. I believe it's available,
Yes.
and probably will be on Disney Plus when it
Very
Check
cool.
him
launches
out.
as well.
Check him
Check
out. He's
him
so
out.
talented.
Hank
You're
is
so
great.
sweet. Thank
Check
you.
out Hank Chen.
You two are so
He's
talented.
talented.
All right, thank you
And our
guys.
engineer,
And our engineer, Mike.
Mike.
Mazzolati.
Oh, he's
Last names are a
Italian,
thing.
huh?
Yes.
Mazzolati.
He's a boss.
Maserati. Drive the car.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. We'll see you
Bye.
next week. Bye.